All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital. This is the weekend report review for Friday night, June 2nd, 2023. As I mentioned in the pre-show warm-up, if you're not trading the 30-minute bars, I don't know why. Good day today. We'll start with Alcoa on the 30-minute. Just for review, this big blue box is the 10-day look back. That gives you 130 bars to look at. Here's your 5-day. Here's the 1-day. These red boxes represent standard risk that is based off of the R10. It's usually a little bit bigger because we're on the 30 minutes. The R10 is legit for 3-minute bars. On the 30-minute bars, you can see that I've really got about 40 cents. The R10 is 17 cents. So I'm usually between 2 or 3 times the R10 when I'm looking at the standard risk box. It's not dissimilar from what you typically will see as the PSAR flip box, so you don't have to be as nervous in the service on the 30-minute bars. When you dial down to the 3-minute bars and you've got a 40-cent risk, when you know you can manage 17 cents, it's actually very wide and easy to manage. Alcoa. It closed here yesterday. We banked that little intraday play. Didn't want to hold overnight risk, so we missed the gap. But it gapped, it moved up, it sold off, it opened, and then it started to resume. When it took out the open, I bought it with standard risk. It gave me this, and I elected to hold this for 2R. Excuse me. And the reason was that the metals did really well today. Cliff and Alcoa were up over 6%. U.S. Steel was up over 5.5%. Alcoa was the easiest one to hold. And there's still more room for that to go. You know, this move from here to here is not irrational. It could do that in one day. I would not be surprised to see a big gap up on Monday. AI was off another 7% today. And so this is making our little strategy of planting, reinforcing, and harvesting in time to miss the winter. And I bought this back because today was a good day. This felt like a reasonable place to invest some of this money back into here. And let's see what happens on Monday. I like AI for the long run. This was Caterpillar. We're going to see this one on the 3-minute bar. And so this one was the SSC where I had to hold my nose and just buy it at the 10-day low. You got to be able to do that. It closed well, so we were holding about plus 3R overnight. And then it did this. It gapped up, it ran up to here, and then continued, so I added a position. It continued to go, so I added a position. It continued to go, so I added a position. It continued to go, so I added a position. These are all swings. And then here, I exited 4 out of the 5 swing trade positions. this almost feels like a lack of hubris. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this one was worth 13R. 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's worth 6. That one's worth 4. That one's worth 2, and that one is worth 1 on the swing trade. So that's 13 here plus 13. That's a 26R swing trade in 2 days on a dollar stop. After we get through the swing trades, you're going to see this one as the intraday. The intraday trade is 40R, just using the 2R battle drill. It's ridiculous. That's the trade of the year. Cliff. So we're holding one position in CAT, and that is fully funded from today's trade. There's no core capital risk on that one. This is Cliff. So Cliff, we were holding the SSC entry from here. It closed well. It gapped in our favor to here. It ran up and then started selling off. So I cashed it. It held support here. So I re-entered, added a second position, and now we're holding this one. My risk box is like this. So we're holding about 4R on the overnight. And this made a nice paycheck. I had to exit here because it had already sold off a full R from the high. Chevron, we re-entered the COTA 2 at about an hour into the day when it looked like everything was going up, and this just kept going. It closed here, so that's at +2, and I'll hold that one over the weekend. Dish Network, again, the favorable gap. So we bought this one, the 1, 2, 3 morning hook, closed well, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the gap up and at +6R, I woke up and said, I guess I better put a second position on. It sold off an R, so we took the whole thing off here. That's about +8 and no overnight risk. Devon Energy. COTA 2, and this is like an emerging dragon entry, so the gap up was to here and kept going. When it emerged above this, bought it with standard risk, cashed +1. Electronic Arts. Entered the COTA 2 today in the last couple hours of the day. Closed well. Emerging markets, unbelievable. So yesterday you heard me hold my nose and buy this one. And it closed really well. And we were holding 1, 2, 3, +4. So we had a cushion. And then all it did was gap up another 6R and then closed here, so we're holding about 10R, and that should be a big gap up on Monday. COTA 2 on ETHE closed well. Mexico tried the gap up and go and then lost half an R, sloppy exit. Brazil, the COTA 2 from yesterday gapped up in our closed well, gapped way up in our favor and just kind of droned on. So it just left that go. That one's holding +6, and it is well above the resistance levels and made a new 30-day high today. So why not? Intel tried the COTA 2 in the around noon, and then it did nothing, and I didn't like that, so we scratched out of it. IP, no trade, missed it, but it was span of control and capital. Basically, didn't have any more capital left. IYR entered the gap and go. Closed pretty well, holding +3. KRE was just amazing. This was the COTA 2 entry yesterday that closed well. It gapped up and continued to go, put the second one on, and it just closed nice the whole day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's +6 on 2 positions. McDonald's added a COTA 2 second position. That's up about +6. Merck re-entered with an emerging dragon. That's up 1. Microsoft, yesterday's 1, 2, 3 entry, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, +6 on 1 position in 2 days. It's comfortably above this, and I have really high hopes for that one. Marijuana, I couldn't find the entry on it today. NVIDIA was a disappointment, but this is one of those that was failure to fail, so I'm maintaining the COTA 2 entry from yesterday. It's about +1. It had surprisingly no follow through today. I think everybody's afraid of the gains, but it's good for the long run. Clean Energy added a second position on the COTA 2. That's holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5R, 2 positions. Rivian, no entry. Treasuries, missed the short, but I'm in the equities right now. Tesla just added the second position. This one from 2 days ago was the COTA 2, and it closed well, and yesterday closed well, and it gapped a little bit in our favor and closed well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's worth 5. That one's worth 1, so we're holding +6 on 2 positions, and it's well above 200, and that thing is heading for Mars, I think. Today was a big gap up in U.S. Steel in the second bar after it gapped up, went high, sold off, started to recover along with the rest of the market, so bought it and cashed 2R. That's what that looks like today. So maybe the best day of the year. 30-minute charts. Here's the sniper trade of the day, Caterpillar and the 2R battle drill. This is really instructive. So Caterpillar's R10 is like 70 cents, so I used $1. There's the gap up. There's the OR3. Second bar, it broke above that, so we're long. That's about $1 right there. $2R battle drill, 2R battle drill, 2R battle drill, 2R battle drill for the 5th entry. Exiting. Never look back. The first position earned 10R. The second position earned 8, then 6, then 4, then 2. And that is worth 24 and 6. That's 30R on Caterpillar using a dollar stop and the 2R battle drill. 30R, dollar stop, 2R battle drill, Caterpillar. No overnight risk. Damien gets the gap and go, enters, cashes 2 1/4. Sees the PSAR flip, gets short, gets 1 1/4 for 3.5. Yep. That's how you do it. Brian. I like this one. We'll take 1.45. By this time, we should know that something's up in the market. It was great, surprising economic news. But we're looking pretty good. That's an expectancy of over 30 cents. That's you can make a living on that. This one, I just think it's hard to justify after the whole market is up so large and everything's going up. It's hard for me to justify getting short this one, but it was a measured move, and I think we should have been out here rather than here. Here's Brazil again. Now I see that one as the OR3 should be here instead of here. That makes this a scratch. I like the re-entry. When you're that far in the let's at least break even on that. But I like the stop and reverse, which gets paid. This one we're trading in the chop. I sort of get that one. I don't like either one of those trades, to be honest. There were so many movers today. One of the things we got to get through once you start mastering the patterns is widening your aperture so that you can find things that are moving. Like all the metals moved today. Caterpillar moved, all the industrials. Russell was moving like a maniac. Now that you're mastering the patterns, you can start thinking about adding a selection of 10 to choose from. But honestly, guys, if you're not using the 30-minute bars with 10 symbols to choose from, you can look at those patterns now and make a judgment within 5 seconds what you should be doing. So it should take you 5 seconds per chart on 10 charts. In 1 minute, you can evaluate 10 symbols. And if you're using the 30-minute charts, you can reasonably manage 10 and find those movers. Like Caterpillar would have just jumped out and hit you in the face like a wet fish. This one is a excellent play. Found the movers in the Dow, for crying out loud. OR3 nails it. Great re-entry. I think you could think about a second position here, but that's a great exit. There's no way I'm shorting that. On a day like today, no way. No way. But I like the re-entry, and then if you have this, there's no reason to get out of that. Just trust the PSAR all the way up. Yep. Lessons learned. All right, so Dan and I went through a process of developing the coach's mind. He was asking me, is this a valid SSC? Is this a harsh winter? Yeah, that's a harsh winter. And that's a 1, 2, 3 entry on a 30-minute chart on a symbol that is deeply in a harsh winter. Sure it is. Look at how far it went below. Here's the Z3 pinch. And it broke Z3 here. And that's like 7 days down in a row. So that thing is going to be in this kind of a, if you just put a box around that. swing trading one day at a time. And you say above 60.30, I'm just going to buy it. You know that's on the daily frame. So you've got on this one, on the intraday, you've got a 2-to-1. That's a perfect 1, 2, 3 entry. It's after the morning shenanigans. It's a morning hook. The winter is over. It's now up into the spring and approaching the zero line for summer. And then at 60.30, you have confirmation that it took out the previous day's high. So that will be a positive signal. So yeah, heart instantly. I want you to notice why the price level of 60.30 matters. If you just have that as an automatic entry, you can't miss this. There's a Z, it even broke out above the Z3 lines here. On this one, it gave you a nice run up where you cashed. This kicked you out of the swing at a scratch. But then the next day you got rising lows. You got a PSAR flip. So even if you don't get it here, you've got to have that set at 60.30. That's a compound reasons to get long there. And then when it clears, look what happens when it clears all this congestion. It stalls and then gives you another leg up. Weekend report review. Bull quiet. Massive goodness. This is like a Kata 2 in the volatility. This is getting ready to go. And we're just getting ready to get back into risk on as soon as it gets above the zero line. This is the strongest it's been lately. ADX was below 15 and has now come above 15. So up we go. The ETF2 increases its exposure, so that's good. All of the things that we were holding, we continue to hold for June. This was such a huge win for May. Oh my goodness. Massive payoff. RLFF daily, regression line fractal. So we're looking at the R10 is looking good. The R30 is looking good. The R90 is great. The 270 is great. It has cleared resistance. Next target is here, which is about 430, 435. Just getting ready to come out of the Red River too. So the run is just starting on this move. Yeah, have the last 3 weeks been a little bit of a tough grind? Sure. But this failed to fail, and so that feels like the move to here. The 3-day makes it even more dramatically clear that this has cleared. It's in the summer and going. Here's the swing high at 430. The 9-day has been a positive force for good. That just turned to summer last week, and it just broke above the Red River. That's just starting. So that tells you that this move to 430 is in range, and then 470, and that's the all-time high. How good has the 9-day PSAR signal been? Very good. The answer is very good. So is the PSAR dot on this one. That flip was good. $150-day look back. We broke above the previous 150-day high. So that's all good. It's leaving all of this junk behind. Uh, the daily bars, 30-day look back, blue skies. Big strong move today, decisive move. No sign of selling whatsoever. Blended monthly rebalancings. Even the small caps have started to make their little recovery. That's a pretty good week and month, but it wasn't even as good as tech and the large caps. And the S&P tech, old school tech, is even better than the NASDAQ tech. So it's the XLKs of the world. That's Microsoft, Cisco, Intel, that kind of stuff. Been beating this drum. Microsoft. Intel. Some look at Home Depot. All right, no, that's Caterpillar. Sorry. Talk about the recovery of a great American company. That's just starting. Cisco's pretty good in XLK. Microsoft. That's the AI winner. Even the things in the bottom of the deck. Clean energy, financials, regional banks, oil. I wouldn't read too much into that. I think those are cyclic and relief rallies, to be honest. But it is clearly large caps and tech. That's the NASDAQ. The single strongest ETF in our whole stack, XLK. How long have we been hitting that? 3 weeks? Yep. Let's look at the tradables. Regional banks, semiconductors, China and biotech, gold miners, oil exploration. Wouldn't hurt you to print that off for the 2-hour battle and just say, oh yeah, that's what 30-hour looks like. $10-day min pains, Caterpillar, IBM, diamonds. Apple, Boeing, and Cat. IBM. Tesla. This might be worth looking at, a deep value play. The washout pattern in 3M. Up 8%. Wow. The ETFs tell the tale. So everything broke to new 10-day highs today, so there's no auto framers, but massive strength in Japan, Brazil, the Qs, the S&P, consumer discretionary. Just a couple S&P 500s that are still in Godzilla. All the ones that were on that long Godzilla list all went smashingly higher. Violent success today. Look at that move in 3M. There's more coming there. And Caterpillar and Dish. Big, huge moves today. Even Hewlett Packard got on board. Auto framer. All of the metals were massive good today, so find the movers. Energy was good for a one-day pop. Tesla's doing well. The Russell had a big rebound. Now this is interesting that the S&P outperformed the Qs. Diamonds, that tells you how broad and strong that move was today. That was a vote up for Main Street. Emerging markets sympathy gains. The techs were already pretty well valued, and so there's some opportunities for follow on next week in NVIDIA, Texas Instruments, and Intel. That's the sleeper. The multi-time frame NDX tells you everything. Apple. Caterpillar's move a 400. Ooh. Microsoft just as solid as it could be. Tech. Japan and the S&P. Pretty good stuff. All right, that's everything for today. We'll get this published and posted, and be ready to get them tomorrow for storytelling in the morning, creativity and foundations on Sunday. All right, take good care, guys.